Stranger Things Season 5 is already dropping hints that will leave fans reeling. The Duffers have confirmed there are shots in this trailer from every episode of the new season. We're going to break down the first 5 minutes of the premiere and the full trailer, scene by scene, outfit by outfit, and clue by clue. Among the highlights, a massive power surge jumps out. I suspect it's from a future episode, a small glimpse of a major finale yet to come. From Vecna's schemes to the characters' missions in the Upside Down and Hawkins, nothing is quite what it seems, and we're here to untangle it. The first 5-minute preview of Season 5 is a flashback to Will's time in the Upside Down, this time hiding out in Castle Bayard. The Demogorgon finds him and blows his cover. Will takes off running and climbs a tree. He scrambles up, hoping the Demogorgon forgot how to look up. It didn't. One dramatic fall later, he's on the ground and the Demogorgon drags him away, like he's today's special at the Upside Down buffet. He's dragged all the way to the library. The Demogorgon drops Will right in front of Vecna and bows. He bows as in Vecna's officially management of monsters. It's wild seeing a Demogorgon bow to, of all things, a human. Then Vecna delivers the world's creepiest onboarding speech. Finally, we can begin. And forces a tube of baby Demogorgon straight down his throat. And that's when it hits. Vecna wanted to use him, to plant something, to start something. Meaning this moment is when Will became connected to Vecna and the Upside Down. And this is way before the Mind Flayer invaded Will. Now let's dive into the full Season 5 trailer, which kicks off with the same terrifying Vecna tube scene from the first 5 minutes. We're going to break down every character's perceived role, what they're up to this season, and all the juicy clues the trailer gives us. The trailer really kicks off with Nancy, Steve, Jonathan, and Dustin heading into the Upside Down. Steve literally drives right through the gate like it's a drive-thru. The group heads into what looks like the old Hawkins lab, and while it's not really clear what their plan is, there's this strange electric energy on the roof, and it's powerful enough to melt through metal. Later in the trailer, we get this emotional shot of Nancy and Jonathan having a heart-to-heart, both in tears. And honestly, it really feels like it's hinting at something tragic, maybe even Jonathan's death or a major sacrifice. Then there's a new scene where Eleven, Dustin, Lucas, and Will are hugging Jonathan, and if you look closely, there's someone in the background. So the big question is, when does this hug actually happen? Is it before they head into the Upside Down, like a goodbye moment, or after something traumatic goes down? The timing totally changes how we read this scene. Either Jonathan barely survives an almost death moment, everyone's saying their goodbyes before something tragic happens, or maybe the loss is someone else entirely. One quick thing to note, Eleven's in her diving gear, which feels like early episode material, because she's even wearing it while talking to Mike. So this might not be the end of the first 4 episodes. Nancy's story is much more fleshed out. There's this shot of her washing blood off her hands after crying with Jonathan, and at first, it totally feels like the show's trying to make us think something terrible happened to him. But before we spiral into heartbreak, let's go over the Demogorgon crashing the Wheeler house party. We see Holly and Mrs. Wheeler hiding in the bathtub. Not exactly the safest hiding spot when your uninvited guest is a flesh-eating monster. Mrs. Wheeler struggles to stand while Holly hurries to help, leaving viewers convinced she might not make it. Now back to Nancy and the mysterious hand-washing moment. That scene, it doesn't even happen in the Upside Down lab as the edit suggests. She's wearing 2 completely different outfits. When we first see Nancy, she's got on that striped jumper, which matches the candy striper uniform we saw at the hospital in Lucas's scene. She is later seen in a building wearing a pink sweater, but when she's in the Upside Down, she's wearing a different outfit. So that pink sweater moment, that's hospital Nancy, not Upside Down Nancy. So does that mean Jonathan doesn't die? Well, it's complicated and a little heartbreaking. It's believed that the blood on Nancy's hands actually belongs to her mom, Mrs. Wheeler. The theory goes that when Eleven and Nancy break into the Wheeler house with a shotgun, they actually are finding Mrs. Wheeler injured. And if you remember, Nancy said that Vecna already showed her a high-definition glimpse of her family's deaths back in Season 4. Now in these previews, we don't see Mr. Wheeler anywhere. It's just Mrs. Wheeler and Holly trying to survive on their own. Is Mr. Wheeler also a victim? Could the Wheelers actually be the next to go? Let's just say, if Vecna's vision comes true, family dinner at the Wheeler house is officially canceled. Judging by the wardrobe changes, Nancy and Dustin pull a double shift in the Upside Down. Once for lab duty, and again when Dustin duffs off his ghillie suit and Nancy's locked and loaded. Then comes the fake out. The second batch of Upside Down shots makes it look like Steve's gone missing. But check out the background. There's an axe just casually hanging out, and it's likely his. Meanwhile, Dustin's hugging Steve like something happened to Jonathan during this montage, but I suspect he's breaking down over Eddie. Also, Jonathan is nowhere in the big battle clips, and neither is Steve. This is classic Stranger Things misdirection. They're keeping us guessing regarding these two. It looks like Eleven's next mission involves entering the Upside Down with Hopper for the first time ever. She's connected to it telepathically before, but she's never physically stepped inside the Upside Down. In the new trailer, we see her jumping fences like a superpowered Olympian, breaking into what looks like a gated compound, full of warning signs, chain link fences, and a mysterious glass house. Then Eleven climbs the glass house, which looks like a greenhouse caught in the world's worst thunderstorm. Inside, she's with Hopper, and the lights are on, the fans are spinning, and there are no vines anywhere. This might be a military-made base inside the Upside Down. We don't know exactly what Eleven's doing here, but it's probably part of a plan to destroy whatever the military's building down there. Then comes a wild edit. Eleven seems to unleash her powers, causing a massive energy surge that blasts out from the lab roof and ripples across the Upside Down. But don't assume it's all chronological. Stranger Things loves a good trailer fake-out. Here's my theory. This scene takes place closer to the end. Eleven's upgraded powers might be used to trigger an energy pulse or an EMP-style counterattack against Vecna's hive mind. The surge moves towards that massive meat wall, and it could either bleed into the real world or burn through those suspicious eggs we saw earlier, which might just be a Demogorgon farm. We also see Eleven in a diving suit next to a homemade sensory tank, and in another frame, wearing a helmet, but we never see her actually enter the void. There isn't a single frame of Eleven in her mental battle. That's a big clue. Whatever she's doing in those tanks is going to be crucial to the show's ending. Most of Eleven's shots hint at her fighting a different military division, one that's hunting her for reasons that don't seem connected to Sullivan's goals last season, at least not yet. And honestly, it looks like Vecna is everyone else's problem for the first few episodes. He's out there causing chaos while Eleven's busy dealing with the military and her own power upgrades. She probably won't actually connect with Vecna until later in the season, and if she does connect, it might only happen through the void. And in the final moments, things get intense. We see Eleven pushing away from some kind of unseen power. Yeah, things are about to get messy. And now we get a peek of what looks like the big showdown of part 1. Vecna is launching a full-on Demogorgon assault on the military base. The teaser hinted at chaos, but the trailer doesn't hold back. The Demogorgons aren't just popping up, they're swarming the base like it's a buffet. Meanwhile, Lucas is at the hospital playing nurse/DJ for Max, blasting running up that hill to keep Vecna at bay. And of course, an explosion sends military bodies flying with a teenage body in sneakers on the floor. Something gets Lucas temporarily knocked out. Then a Demodog crashes visiting hours. The trailer even shows him dragging her into an elevator while the Demodog is hot on their trail. Lucas and the other new kids are running through tunnels, cornered by a Demogorgon. And yeah, it almost gets him. Meanwhile, the Upside Down is literally bursting up through the ground. At the radio station, we see this happen with Robin and Murray. Robin and Murray are off on a mission in an 8-wheeler, which is rumored to be Murray's new job. Everything's fine until a cloud of upside down particles starts swarming the radio tower, like it's trying to tune into Hell's FM station. Not sure if this was part of the plan or if the Upside Down just decided to fight back. Then the floor starts cracking open, and since Demogorgons have been popping out of these rips, odds are Robin and Murray grab the truck outside and hit the road, only to get hunted down by one of those nightmare Demogorgons themselves. Joyce and the kids confront one in a barn, Joyce armed with an axe of course, while Will and the others face a Demogorgon busting through the door. At the library military base, Joyce and Mike try to protect the kids, and a Demogorgon goes full stunt jump at them while they carry Will. And then the kicker, Vecna wipes out the military and telepathically lifts Will, promising Will that he will help one last time. So what's happening here? Clearly Vecna is using Will for his own agenda. He may have needed him before as an anchor to Hawkins, but now with the worlds joined, who knows? My guess is that Will will be central to the next phase, either spilling the Upside Down further into Hawkins or something even more sinister. So what did you think about the first 5 minutes of the premiere and the full trailer? Leave a comment below, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're gonna continue on this Stranger Things journey together.